Jerry is trying his hardest to stick to the plan. He trying his hardest to listen to the players, and that man is boiling right now. I don't know if y'all speak old rich billionaire, but he holding his seeing glasses in his hands. That's because he about to go poke him in somebody's face while he going off on them. Jerry is getting very close to his breaking point.
Hey man, something happened after the Dallas Cowboys game that I absolutely cannot believe no one else is giving any coverage to, because honestly, this may be the most meaningful thing to happen to the Dallas Cowboys as it pertains to their head coaching and coaching situation in general that's happened in a very long time, and it just received no coverage. But that's why y'all messes with your boy. This is why y'all enjoy watching Attack on Cowboys, because I'm not just going to regurgitate all the same topics every other platform that's talking about the team is going to give you. I go a little bit deeper and I give you what you need to know. And what you need to know is Jerry went off on the coaches. What? On top of that, the Dallas Cowboys may have caught a huge break as it pertains to one of their recently injured up-and-coming superstar players in DeMarvion Overshown. Let's get right into this episode, and be sure to subscribe for more Dallas Cowboys content. I need y'all to help me help y'all. Help me get to 25K before 2025, man. And we gonna have a little bit of fun going into the new year. But subscribe so you can stick around and see what we gonna do for the 25K celebration. But either way, let's get right into this one, because I cannot believe no one discussed this. Big Mike, I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I think your job is safe. My prediction, y'all, is that Mike McCarthy is going to be the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys until Jerry Jones can justify bringing in Jason Witten as the head coach, meaning Jason Witten get a couple of more years under his belt coaching at either a college level or coaching a little bit longer or taking some type of positional coaching position or something, and then Jerry brings him into the Cowboys. Remember, we covered this story about what Jason Witten's wife said about him returning to the NFL as a coach. We covered this on one of our shows a few days back, so just go back and look for it. It got Jason Witten and Arch Manning on the thumbnail. But nobody actually discussed the fact that after the game against the Cincinnati Bengals, head coach Mike McCarthy appeared in front of the media where he, via ESPN reporter Ed Werder, said there was indeed a conversation between himself, special teams coach John Fossil, and Jerry Jones after the game regarding the blocked punt. So when the reporters asked further about Jerry Jones and his coming up in the locker room to seek information post-game, the head coach continued saying he's the general manager. He asked good questions. Although McCarthy didn't reveal what good questions Jones asked him, what happened at Monday's game can't be ignored. Apparently, Jerry Jones confronted John Fossil about the special teams issues we have seen with this team over the last few weeks. It seems like the special teams has usually been one of the strong points for the Cowboys, but over the last couple of weeks, there's been a couple of situations that have arisen that makes you scratch your head and ask the question is, what are the coaches teaching these guys? Where is the accountability? Apparently, it was reported Jerry Jones confronted John Fossil saying, I don't know if you say anything to Amani Oruwariye. We made the mistakes out there. That mistake at the end was very impactful. That's all I can say. That's what Jerry said to John Fossil. Hence, on Tuesday, when Fossil came into the spotlight when the media tried to get more information about him, now John Fossil faced two issues head on. John Fossil did acknowledge that the missed blocked punt to an onside kick return, he admitted those errors fall on him from a coaching standpoint. And they do, man. This is the coaches not being direct enough with their players, man. If you understand the game situation, you know that this is probably the last time your punt team is going to run out on that field and you're in a situation where the team can be in position to win this game. You should be letting every one of those guys that's going onto that field know exactly what's at stake, what not to do, what to do, and reiterating that they understand what the hell they're supposed to be doing. That's part of being a coach. Part of being a coach is managing, man. So it's unacceptable that we continue to see the Dallas Cowboys make these mental mistakes. No matter what the mental mistake is, they keep making these mental mistakes because the culture that these coaches have cultivated allows for them to do so without fear of repercussion. Amani Oruwariye, I'm sure he's a great guy. He's had some bright moments this year, but a mistake like that, a mistake that, honestly, you learn that rule when you first start playing special teams. When you first start playing special teams, man, I don't care what level it is, middle school, Pop Warner, high school, whatever, you learn that you cannot, as a defender, touch the ball after it passes the line of scrimmage when the punt team is out there. You should just not be touching it, bro. So the excuses that the coaches are lending for the issues that are happening is just unacceptable. John Fossil actually came out and said, in regards to that situation, he said he told Amani Oruwariye, if I'm in your shoes as a player, I'm probably going to handle it too, as it pertains to the ball bouncing his way like that. Fossil said he talked to Oruwariye today and he was in good spirits. Fossil said he should be doing well, adding that Oruwariye didn't cost him the game. The hell he did! This is the problem. This is why Jerry Jones is upset at the coaches. There's no reason the coaches should be excusing this type of stuff. I don't care about all that defending your players in front of them. Bro, what has having player-friendly coaches done for the Cowboys? What has it done for us? Nothing. So try something different. Try a no-nonsense environment where you're not allowing Cooper Rush to walk around smiling after the game is over and everybody looking at that like, man, what the hell is going on? Man, have a coach out there that's going to slap some sense into these dudes. If a Bill Belichick or a Mike Vrabel, one of those guys out there, bro, half the stuff that happens with this team from these mental mistakes as far as football IQ, if it did still happen, there would be prices to pay and guys would be much more cognizant of making sure that that don't happen. How do you have two special teams issues back to back like that? Yes, Wanye Thomas ran the ball back, got a touchdown, but the smart and correct football play to make was to get the ball, get down on it so they can run that clock out and safely win that game. That is not what happened. Then we just saw what just happened with the punt block return. There's just not there. Who's coaching? Who's coaching? And even what Jordan Lewis said, he said, we can't judge him. None of us played a perfect game. You can't judge anybody but by one decision. He thought he could make a play. Can't judge him for that. Yes, you can! This is the problem. Remember what Micah and CD was talking about, holding guys accountable, calling out mistakes when they made it, being honest with guys, nipping stuff in the bud when you see it? It clearly didn't happen because you guys are still saying stuff like this. You guys are still nurturing ineptitude. What are we doing, man? Like, this is the type of stuff that I'm talking about. And this is why I agree with Jerry going in there, questioning the coaches, asking them some strong questions, getting on their ass. And if Jerry went down there and the coaches themselves even said that's not something that Jerry Jones usually does. He doesn't usually come, yes, we'll see him in the locker room, but he doesn't usually come and immediately start asking us questions about what the hell happened out there. And for that, I got to be honest. I agree with Jerry on that because what did happen? And then to see your coaches come out and say the type of stuff that they came out and said, it's just, really? Really? Mike McCarthy defended Amani Oruwariye saying Ayo was in a vice situation, McCarthy said. And then he heard the roar of the crowd, and when he turned, he understands the rule once the ball crosses the line. His response was when he turned, when he heard the crowd, the ball was there, and he reacted to it. So obviously a big play in the game. That don't explain why his ass went to go pick it up! If the ball is coming to you, and you know that you ain't the punt returner, bro. You ain't the punt returner, and the ball is bouncing your way. And it's clearly coming from a place of, if the ball is coming from that area, that means that something happened. Somebody blocked it or something. Why is your response still to try to pick it up and think you're going to run with it? He was trying to be a hero. Let's stop the foolishness. He was trying to be a hero. He was trying to pick the ball up and run to the end zone and score a touchdown. Let's stop the foolishness. And no, this is not pile on Amani Oruwariye Day. This is the Cowboys are showing exactly why, as an organization, we cannot and they will never be taken seriously. And they will never compete with the best teams in the league. And they will never be a team that's showing some accountability and not lacking discipline, because the culture that the coaches are cultivating encourages this type of stuff. It encourages low IQ football. It encourages guys to feel like they can go out there and make mistakes even though other men's livelihoods are on the line out there. It's a culture that encourages guys to feel as if mistakes don't come with consequences, man. And that type of mistake from a guy that was a practice squad guy, you got to make an example. Guys, we've had too many issues on special teams. I don't care if the season's over. If win means so much, Jerry, and y'all are still playing to win, which Jerry Jones said that they are, if y'all are still trying to do that, and Jerry Jones is saying, I don't want to play Trey Lance because Cooper Rush gives us the best chance to win, then wouldn't you want your coaches still doing stuff that encourages winning behaviors from your team? Like making sure guys understand there are consequences for not being a professional. By the time you make it to the National Football League, man, you shouldn't have to be reminded about simple rules. That wasn't a convoluted rule. That wasn't anything that was super crazy. Bro, you know, as a defender, when you're receiving the punt on a receiving team, once that line goes past the line of scrimmage, you should not be touching that ball unless you are the punt returner and you plan on returning that damn ball, bro. So this is the exact type of stuff right here, y'all. Now, amidst all of this foolishness, amidst Mike McCarthy once again showing us that he can't be taken seriously, he can't be trusted, he can't be someone we can look at and think that he's going to be a deciding factor to turn this organization around and get it back into their winning ways. He can't be trusted in that regards because he doesn't hold his guys accountable. He enforces no discipline on his team. His players aren't afraid of him or any of his coaches on the roster, maybe outside of a Mike Zimmer, I don't know. But it seems like the players aren't afraid of any of the coaches in there. And the guy constantly makes excuses for mediocrity. It is okay every now and then to go into the media and be like, hey, I know Ayo was trying to just make a play. He was trying to do what he thought was best in that moment. But look, guys, we got to understand our jobs. We play on the National Football League for one of 32 NFL teams. We have to understand what our jobs are and what that consists of. And that's part of being a professional. That was an unprofessional moment. It's that simple. And it won't be tolerated here. It's that simple. But guys are so concerned with calling these dudes and I don't want to hurt their feelings. I want to be liked by everybody. Get your big chubby ass out of Dallas, man. Oh my goodness. The only thing that we can take from this and say that it's a positive, the only thing we can take from this whole situation is the fact that DeMarvion Overshown had no meniscus damage to his knee. And the articular surface looks good. In other words, he has no nerve damage in that knee, and that is something that is incredibly good news because a lot of people were starting to look at this situation and kind of compare it to a Jalen Smith situation, the other Cowboys linebacker who had dead leg in his foot because he had nerve damage. We won't have to worry about that. I think this is just going to be more about DeMarvion Overshown's will to overcome. And I think that he's absolutely going to repair, rebuild, and rebirth himself. And he's going to come back, maybe not as strong as ever, but I think he's still going to come back and be a damn good player, God willing, right? But all prayers up to Marvion Overshown, man. It's just still, this completely took the sails out of my wind for the rest of the season. It's very hard to be super excited about anything going on with this team now, especially when you're seeing these type of injuries take place. It just completely kills your will to even watch, right? But either way, Jerry going off on people, this could be probably the most detrimental thing to Mike McCarthy's job is Jerry's now had to come down there and asking questions, and he's starting to wonder, like, okay, are these guys actually, what are they talking to the players about? Why are we seeing reoccurring mistakes from the same position groups? Why am I hearing my coach not actually do something about this, right? So hopefully Jerry takes this moment and is like, hey man, maybe Mike McCarthy isn't the way to go, but I still believe he's gonna be here until Jason Witten here. And if he's not, I'm gonna be excited about just that. Unless Jerry hires someone like a Marvin Lewis or something, I'm gonna cry. But either way, we stay same old Cowboy.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still the ball? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still them boys.